What should you look for when hiring outsourced accountants in the Philippines? Hi, my name is Isaac Smith. I'm the founder of TeamUp, and we help accountants hire top-tier Filipino accounting staff without any ongoing BPO fees. This is an interesting question, and I think many people don't realize quite how common and simple and frankly easy it is to hire people in the Philippines. The barriers we had, say, 10 years ago are just gone. Now that we have communication tools like Zoom and Slack, general ledger software like QBO and Xero, practice management tools like Carbon, it's kind of amazing. Anybody can be remote. And there's very little difference between being remote in country or being remote overseas. So, to the question, what should you look for in hiring Filipino accountants? The same thing as if they were local, right? If you were hiring someone local, you'd be looking for someone with experience and education, a great attitude, a great communicator, a problem solver, and all that other stuff that I'm sure you've probably thought about. But, there are some, let's say, certain concerns that people have or special considerations. So let's talk through some of these. Probably one of the biggest ones on people's minds is English, right? English, right? Even I'm having trouble speaking English, right? So I want to let you know that this is not as big a concern as most people think. Most people don't know, and I didn't know until recently, that the Philippines is the 5th largest English-speaking country in the world. Depending on the source, it might even be the 4th largest. People over there speak and write very well, and like I mentioned, sometimes better than me. So there's really no problem with giving somebody over there client contact. It's kind of amazing, actually. What about IT security? This is a common concern. Well, I don't know if this is good news or bad news, but the truth is, unfortunately, hackers don't care what country you're in. So IT security best practices are going to be the same whether your team is remote in country or overseas. We could talk more about this topic and we could do more videos about IT security and best practices. But just in general, it's going to be the same. And if you do have concerns or if you have certain practices that you want to implement, there are IT providers over there that we can connect you with. What about the time zone? This is a common question or a concern that people come to me with. We can do another video on the different options that you have, but basically you're most likely going to have some hours of overlap and some hours where they're on their own. So, that depends, of course, whether you have them work during the day or during the night or somewhere in between. So because of that, you want to make sure that whoever you hire is independent, is able to work on their own, and if they have problems, they can solve them, and they're organized about when they come and ask you questions and when they're setting those things aside. So, you may want them to be more independent than somebody who is on your time zone, but you know what? Let's be honest. I don't want to hire anybody who's not independent, no matter what time zone they're in. So I think that's going to be the same also, regardless of whether they're in the Philippines or not. What about the internet connection? 5 to 10 years ago, this was actually a pretty big problem. And I was working with people in the Philippines during that time. But today, it's not really an issue. Almost everyone has fast, reliable internet. Now we've come to my favorite and probably biggest consideration. And we're going to have many videos on this as it's such a big topic. And that is cultural. What are the cultural differences? Should you have any specific considerations? The TLDR is yes. There are some differences, and I just love getting to know my staff over there. To me, it's just exciting and fun to learn about their culture. But yeah, there are some differences and there can be some challenges, and we don't have time to get into them in this video, but the short version is it's good. That's why it's good to hire somebody who has experience working with Western companies and is comfortable doing things a little bit differently than they might be used to. And of course, the good news to that is the outsourcing industry is an enormous industry in the Philippines. And so large numbers of the workforce over there does have experience working with Western companies. So generally, here's what you can expect. They have a very high level of education and talent in the Philippines. People over there are easy to work with. They're ambitious. They want to learn. They want to grow, develop. They want to build their careers and get promoted. You're working with real professionals. And just on a personal level, they're just a delight to work with. And I know this because this is what we do. My entire team is over in the Philippines. And at TeamUp, we recruit top-tier Filipino talent for accounting firms for a flat fee. We're a recruiting agency, not a BPO. So there are no ongoing fees. And if you want some help with compliance and payroll, we can help connect you with an employer of record who can take care of all of that. So if you want to learn more, we have some great resources about hiring in the Philippines on our website. And that's hireteamup.com. There's going to be a link below in the description for the website and contact information. Please feel free to reach out. We're happy to help. And as you can see, we just love being able to connect amazing, talented people with the accounting firms that are looking for them. So thank you. We'll talk soon.